Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the very first part of my Dragon Quest Swords livestream playthrough. Now, just to sort of discuss the relevance of Dragon Quest Swords as far as my channel is concerned, I've actually done two Let's Plays of this game. One Let's Play was just playing through the game as normal, basically finishing it through... I suppose the game has two sections. You've got the first half and the second half. The first half is completing the game, and then there's sort of an end game portion which lasts maybe for about 50% as long as the rest of the game. So the idea is you've got two halves of a whole in terms of this game, and I did a Let's Play of that, and then I did a payback mode Let's Play, which is a mode that you can unlock once you've actually completed the end game content of Dragon Quest Swords. So the first Let's Play was done in 2015, and then the second one was done in was it late 2016? It was, I think or it was early 2017. I can't remember it now, but I do remember that it took me some time to actually start uploading that second Dragon Quest Swords Let's Play, so it ended up being uploaded a few months after I'd actually recorded it. But anyway, I'm here now playing it live, and I suppose the obvious question is, why do you need to play this game so much, Doomlink? Well, to start with, the first Let's Play of Dragon Quest Swords is, as I'm recording this now, my most viewed Let's Play on the Doomlink channel, so that kind of gives me some incentive to actually play it, because obviously there are people who are interested in watching Dragon Quest Swords content, and there are not that many people actually playing it out there. So I can be one of those people, and therefore people can come to my content, or come to watch my content, and hopefully enjoy it. Just to sort of discuss what this live stream playthrough business of mine is about as well. Basically, I pick a game and just sit back and relax and play it, and I do that once a week. I do have regular uploads in terms of live streaming when it comes to different games. So I have Breath of the Wild, I have Demon Souls, I have the various Monster Hunter games. Those are quite consistent and will be done during the week. However, I will choose one particular game that I'll play for a long time, because most of my live streams are only about an hour to an hour and a half. Breath of the Wild is in a Let's Play format, so that's even shorter. It's about 40 minutes for each video. But here, in this playthrough, sort of, I guess, series that you can call it, not just this one, but all the other ones that I do, I like to sit back and actually record for quite some time. And so I allocate one specific day in the week to be able to do that. And that's usually the day before today, which would be Monday for me. It's currently Tuesday. I was busy yesterday, so I wasn't able to do it. But here I am, actually doing some Dragon Quest Swords. So we're going to get started with this. The way in which we're going to get started is by me getting all of my, I guess, chat stuff on my screen here. So just uno momento, which is not really how I should say that. Obviously, I'm not multilingual, so you'll have to excuse me for that. Anyway. Oh, God. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't have shirts for every band I listen to, Paul, but I do have a number of band shirts. I just sort of wear them casually. I don't really... Hold on. I need to actually mute all of my playback stuff. Yeah, I had a false start, Paul. It's quite annoying because what ends up happening is the easiest thing to do is just for me to sit down for a long time and just talk, but at the start it's actually kind of difficult to find a good way to actually start it off. So generally I'll have one false start, well, not generally, but sometimes when I do have a false start it'll just be once and then I just continue as normal. But anyway, I'm going to make sure that I've got all my playback stuff organised. I'm just getting all my chats set up here. But thank you for joining, Paul. Hopefully you can stick around for a little while. I do know that your time zones are a little bit of a nightmare these days with all the time shifting because of daylight savings ending or starting, depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, this will be a pretty fun game to watch, I think, because it is on the Wii, and I do use my Wiimote. So I'm going to be swinging this thing around. I do have the gold Wiimote because I actually bought Skyward Sword, which came with the gold Wiimote. And then I got annoyed because I didn't have a gold nunchuck, so I went and bought a gold nunchuck as well, which by the way is a lot rarer and more expensive and more collectible than the gold Wiimote. So I do have both of those, which I use for my Skyward Sword Let's Play. But yeah, anyway. It's 9 in the morning for you. Well, I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but I think you alluded to it being a bad thing last time. So, anyway, let's actually get started here. I'm going to create a character. I don't know if you can really see me. Okay, so you can't actually see me waving around in the end, so this whole business with the Wiimote, you're not going to be able to see any of it, and that's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to go to continue your adventure just so I can show you my different characters here. This is the first Let's Play that I did. As you can see, I've got level 900, not 999. I'm used to Monster Hunter where it's where the max hunter rank is 999. This is just level 99, and it's very easy to get level 99 if you are willing to grind King Latem. I've got 22 hours on record for that. I've got 7 hours for the second Let's Play which I did, which was payback mode. So this particular save is payback mode, this one is not. And they don't actually give you any information as to whether or not it's payback mode. So I tried to make it clear that this was payback mode by naming it Death. Death short for Deathbringer. So yeah, anyway. I'm probably going to delete my third adventure log here because this doesn't really need to exist. So I'm deleting log 5, and then I'm creating a new adventure log, which we'll name Doomlink if I can manage that. I think the first one was named Doomlink, wasn't it? Anyway. Death. Yeah, once again, it's short for Deathbringer. I'm naming myself Boomlink at the moment, but yeah, so essentially you have, it's called payback mode and you use a sword called the Deathbringer. And because Deathbringer is too long of a name to actually fit in the character selection, I had to name myself Death. And if it were able to fit, they wouldn't let me put it in, because if I put the name Zyphos, I think, yeah, you definitely can't fit Deathbringer in there. But, oh, now I'm typing it because it's one of those things where you have something in your mind and you're writing something or typing something and you end up typing what's in your mind rather than what you're intending on typing. But anyway, Doomlink. And then okay. As you can see, it looks, I actually really like how the game appears. It's just got a very, these almost glass buttons that you're pointing at. It's nice. I actually think it's quite a visually nice game. And this is the first time, Boomlink. Yeah. I've never actually seen the game being recorded with this particular capture card. It looks alright, to be honest, so I'm happy with that. Deathbringer blah blah blah. I do not want to start the game equipped with the Deathbringer. It gives me this option because I have completed the game in full, as I mentioned before, so we're going to select no for that. And it is saving to the adventure log, which is ideal. Now at the start of the game, with this music, it's even more ridiculous. Yeah. It's sort of classic music. Well, not classic, classic gaming music sort of thing, old style. So there's a little bit of cutscene stuff going on at the start of the game here. It's a bit of a slow beginning. I think once you get past all the beginning stuff, the game starts to speed up in terms of how much you're doing versus, you know, sitting in a cutscene watching things happen. There's a lot of sitting around at the start. So what I will be doing is just pouring myself a beverage if I can actually, there it is, needed to find my bottle opener. Today I'm drinking some, oh you'll like this Paul, it's an Australian Imperial Stout called Boris the Russian. So, and there he is on the front. He's looking, I guess, very Russian, but it's a nice Imperial Stout. And, a very nice Imperial Stout, in fact. And it's one of my favourite beers, and I will be having that today. As you can see, we are cutting to Swordmaster Dao beating a man with a stick, which is clearly much to the entertainment of everyone watching. Yeah, you do keep referencing Demon Souls. Every single game that I play can be compared to Demon Souls with you. My Wii, as we speak right now, is absolutely dying. It's making all of these weird sounds as it's loading the disc, which is never the most encouraging thing in the world, but anyway. Normally I would drink this out of a Maredzu glass, but I'd actually smashed my Maredzu glass, as I discussed in one of my Wind Waker live streams, and that's kind of a sad thing. I'll just have to buy a new one of those. So today I'm drinking out of my Westmar Trappisten beer glass, so... today is going to be a good day. He looks like a communist. Yeah, that is the point. Oh dear.
The passage of time has not dulled
I think I need to turn up the television because this is all voice acted and I can't hear shit, so it's probably important for me to actually be able to hear it so that I'm not skipping through any of it. So just one moment while I turn up my volume. No, I still can't really hear anything, and I can only hope that there's no actual bleed into the microphone here from the TV, but anyway. Oh, it's actually really fun as a game, and I think you'll see once we get into the actual gameplay, it's quite entertaining to watch, and also to play. You've got a moustache like this old fella, so what, it sticks like that far out from your face? You need a lot of wax for that. There are a lot of interesting accents in this game, and most of them are English, so... And as you can see, they're actually typing the text as he says it, so Deathbringer. I mean, this guy was not given the best of educations, I think you'll find.
And what's more, he was a pupil of Swordmaster Dow too.
Really?
Goddess only knows what kind of match we're in for here.
I'm hoping that the game sound isn't too low. If you could give me some feedback on that, Paul, that would be really great. Can you hear the voices easily? Are they too low compared to my voice, or is it just right? Just helps to have someone actually watching the live stream who knows, because all I'm doing is looking at audio levels, you see.
Tomorrow will be your 16th birthday, I hear. When a young man of our land comes of age, he must undertake the walk of the worthy. It is tradition. You must focus your mind and spirit on the ways of the soul now. Come, I will instruct you.
You hear it better than me. That's possibly a bad thing, but now that you've said that, I'm going to drop it back just a little bit then. Just a tiny little bit. But if it is perfectly audible, then that's good. A lot of people have different preferences when it comes to game volume in relation to their voice. I like to have the game volume pretty upfront and pretty audible, but not so audible that it drowns out my voice. I try to have it be a little bit of a balance there. So, anyway, it's very interesting. This guy's name is Swordmaster Dow, and he teaches the ways of the sword, but never have I actually seen a sword in his hands. He instead opts for this stick, which doubles as a walking stick, obviously. Well, I should say that it's a walking stick that doubles as something that he uses as a weapon. So anyway, a swing the Wiimote, yeah, or the Wii Remote, I should say. Wiimote, I suppose, is a colloquialism. It's actually Wii Remote. But anyway, next you must face me and choose a focal point for your attack. So you actually press A, and once you select A, that is exactly where you will be swinging. Choosing a focal point will enable you to aim your strikes at a particular area. Ding dong. It's like I just got the answer correct in a game show or something. You can of course attack without setting a focal point. At such times you will naturally focus your attacks on a point directly in front of you. When swinging your sword you must grip it with your thumb uppermost relative to the ground at all times. Yes, yes. I know. I will mention that it is very difficult to be specific with your strikes here. Because you do really have to keep the Wiimote flat. You could see there that I accidentally thrusted. That was really not what I wanted. So now I'm doing the horizontal slash. I do have the sensor bar positioned, I think, correctly. I could probably position it slightly differently, but it's fine, I think. So I'm trying to do a diagonal slash. That was apparently good, even though I thrust it off into the distance. It looked like I'd stabbed one of those people in the background in the face or something, but I don't believe that my... I'm going to focal point, so it's a little bit easier. There we go. It's not... well, you'll see that there's a bit of stuff that's not entirely like swordsmanship. All I'm doing is waving this around. It's not very swordsman-like, I think you'll find. Let us now move on to defense. I shall attack and you shall use your shield to defend yourself. I just raised my shield. But it's all first-person combat, that's how it works, and I think it's actually really fun. I don't know if it's entirely unique, but it's the only game of its kind that I know of, so yeah. I certainly wouldn't want to be using a Wiimote for a third-person game, that's not really my interest. Then I'll attack him like that. That's the combat, that's how it works. It gets more and more complicated as you go through the levels. It'll start off with me just attacking slimes and stuff, but...
You are well centered.
Thank you.
You may even possess the inner tranquility required to execute the master stroke technique I taught your father long ago. Do you wish to try?
I do. Now, one thing you need to know about this game is that there are a lot of, I guess, innuendos that can be drawn from certain things that are said. One is master stroke, and that, I mean, that's not very, I guess, sexual, but you can make it sexual, and it becomes more sexual when your master stroke requires you to do things like this, okay? And I'm not joking here. You'll see as we play the game that that's actually a requirement in some cases. But anyway, aside from pretending to jack off with the Wiimote, at this point that's not necessary. All we need to do, I think, is hold our sword above our head or something while we do the master stroke. When your sword has gathered sufficient power, you will be able to perform a master stroke. So that gauge will build up as you go through levels. Like, the more you attack an enemy, I don't know if it's based on the actual strikes or based on the confrontations finishing. It might be based on confrontations finishing, so let's say you get a certain percentage up with every single confrontation that completes. I don't think it is though. I think it might be with every single strike. Yes, it is. Now that I remember, it is based on the number of strikes that you do. So let's say, for instance, you're fighting an enemy that requires a lot of hits, you'll be able to get your master stroke gauge up more and more. And I remembered that because you do get your master stroke gauge up more and more as you fight bosses, and of course you're not actually completing any confrontation while you're fighting one single enemy, which in this case is the boss. So, yeah. You like my humour with a stone emotionless face. Yeah, well, I like, what is that called? That's called, for some reason I have a complete mental blank, but, it's, well, there's a term for it. Dry humour, that's what it is. I have a bit of dry humour, and I don't intend for that necessarily, it just sort of happens, and I appreciate other people's dry humour, and I do have a bit of dry humour myself, so that's a good thing. You must execute the required moves within the time limit. Rightio. Thrust your sword into the sky. There we go. And it turns purple, which is really special. I mean, I don't know how this is even made possible. As far as I know, to start with, we only have a regular sword. Nothing too special. As far as I know, we're a random 16-year-old kid in the game. Third of all, this guy just said, hey, do a master stroke. And we did it, and now our sword is turning purple. I don't really know much about that. But anyway. Oh, we can just strike normally. But anyway, magic. That's all I have to say about that. Perfect, you are indeed an apt pupil. But know that there are many different types of master stroke. Ooh. And they all... some require wide and fast movements. Yeah, wide and fast, depending on the size, you know. I mean, not everyone is, you know, small, and not everyone's large. Everyone has their own size. And you know what? Size isn't the only thing that's important. Size doesn't always matter.
You have inherited your father's command of the blade. Since Claymore lost his arm, he is no longer able to wield a sword. But you, the kingdom of Avalonia, will be fortunate indeed to count you amongst its warriors.
Here ends the Royal Festival of Swordsmanship, commemorating the 5th anniversary of the defeat of Cyphus the Deathbringer.
I don't know if that guy just hocked up a phlegm rocket or what, but that was a bit gross. Anyway, so yeah, he doesn't speak English, so we're not actually going to talk to him anymore. If you forget anything that you have learned, look for help in the miscellaneous menu. I mean, you might be able to understand what he says, but I can assure you that what he's speaking is not English. But anyway, oh, here's our father, Claymore. He has, well, he has a metal hand, but he can't really use it to, see, that's not a sword, that's like a staff. That's for magic casting. But anyway, what do you have to say for yourself, sir?
You looked good out there, lad. Aye, that you did.
Yeah, he has way too many stomach muscles, I agree.
Old Dow was just playing with you, but still. If only I hadn't messed up my arm so badly, eh?
You never actually find out what he did, but it's not just a metal hand, it's his whole arm that's metal, I think.
Then I could have trained you up good and sharp, and maybe it would have been you playing with Dow.
Ah, there you are.
Here we go.
That last bout was quite a spectacle. I'm rather impressed.
Prince Anless, it's been a long time. You're a good deal tougher now than when you used to train under me, by the looks of it.
I don't think so, somehow. Tough is not the word I would use to describe Prince Anless, personally.
You'll find I never miss a day's training. So don't imagine you can outdo me, just because you come from heroic stock. We should spar together sometime.
That moment of him pointing at me as, like, the fangirls screaming. Like, I almost screamed, you know.
Forgive me for asking, Your Highness, but where's Queen Katana?
That's right, Paul. Claymore can't use his hand to do any stroking.
Mother is... I am told she has been feeling unwell in recent days. She confines herself to her chamber and refuses to see anyone, including myself.
I was thinking of dropping in and saying how do, but maybe I'll save it for another time.
The sound of my game disc being loaded sounds like someone with a bunch of rocks grinding them together. It's not very good. Hopefully my Wii isn't about to explode.
It'll be getting dark soon, son. Time to head home. Good to see you looking so well, Your Highness. You take care now.
Alrighty, so once again there is a lot of chatting to people that goes on before we can actually start the game, so for anyone who is looking for top quality entertainment, I do apologise if this is not it, but soon we will actually be playing the game, so don't worry. There's a little thing called story, and it's kind of common in Japanese games because, you know, they have a little thing called caring about the story, so there's a lot of that before we get started here.
There you are, lad. You go on home ahead of me, alright? I have an errand to run. It's your 16th birthday tomorrow after all.
Okay, so we're technically 15, not 16. And more cutscenes. There we go. He just needed to get it out. He was holding it all in and now he's gotten it out. Now he can go and slowly stumble into the water. Which, by the way, has a pretty steep drop-off. Did you see that? Like, he's just... One minute he's on the beach and then the next thing it's like, bloop, straight down. Don't really think that's how it works, but anyway. Alrighty. So we've got a look. Here we go. So before we weren't even at chapter 1, that was just the start. Now we're at chapter 1. Now to put this in context, this guy is casting offensive spells on us to wake us up. So that is like casting icicles. Now he's casting explosive fire magic on us to wake us up. Not exactly what I'd call the best father in the world.
I'm glad that last kaboom woke you, sleepyhead. The next spell I had lined up could have hurt.
No, exploding me with fire was not going to hurt anyway, don't worry, mate.
Tired from your turn with old Dow yesterday, eh? But you know what today is, don't you?
I do know what today is.
That it is. Your 16th birthday, lad. The day the Queen will order you to take the Walk of the Worthy, and you'll become a man.
Yeah, rightio.
So, don't keep Her Majesty waiting, son. Get yourself sorted and head over to the castle.
Okay, thank you. He definitely hasn't given me a present yet, which is a bit rude. I mean, maybe the present that he had lined up for me was actually just casting magic, offensive spells at me while I'm just trying to, you know, sleep, which is probably not my idea of a happy birthday, but anyway. Each morning, -5 HP, best dad. Exactly. Probably more than -5. Maybe the total HP is like 10, so that would make -5 a lot worse. Point being, it would hurt. Alright, so this guy here, this very serious looking man, who actually doesn't have a voice, instead he has loud text. His text is actually making noise to express himself, or the text is expressing itself for him instead of him using his own voice. Anyway, oh, it's you, Doomlink. Of course, today's your 16th birthday, isn't it? Ordinarily, you'd be granted an audience with Her Majesty, but she's apparently a bit under the weather again. I wish I knew what was going on.
Felicitations, birthday.
Oh, thank you.
How peculiar for you to be visiting the castle alone.
Indeed.
I imagine you're here to meet with Mother. How unfortunate. She's made it quite clear that she does not wish to entertain visitors at present.
That's true, he doesn't have proper eyes.
She has even refused.
They're just
to grant
dots on
me
his
an
face.
audience. Her own son. Sorry, I am desperately worried.
And this guy is also voice acted. Except he takes about 10 years to say anything.
I trust all is tickety-boo.
Now, my advice to any person who does not speak English natively, do not say the phrase tickety-boo, ever. Just don't ever say it, please. Because, look, you don't even know what it means, and you don't need to know what it means, because it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it does mean something, but it's irrelevant. Just don't ever say it.
Ah, Minister Misericord. My young friend here is celebrating his 16th birthday today. Accordingly, he has come for an audience with Mother.
Aha, I see. Unfortunately, the Queen is somewhat unavailable.
Okay, well, he had a bit of a throat. What's the word? Why is it that I can't think of words today? Who knows?
Yes.
Irritation, a throat irritation.
Vexing dilemma. What to do? What to do?
Well, I don't know. You're supposed to have the answer.
Bingo. I have it.
Really?
I shall momentarily assume the role of Her Majesty and convey the procedure of the walk in her place.
Throat stroke. Wow.
Excellent, Minister.
Wow. I don't want a throat stroke from this guy personally.
So I shall leave this matter in your capable hands.
Well, good on you, Anlis. You walk away with your tight pants and your fancy hair and your earring and your everything else.
Somewhat directly to the yes, to the point. As you have now come of age, you are required to undertake the walk of the worthy.
If you are short on time while playing this game, just skip his text. It takes a very long time to say anything.
It is a long-standing tradition of the Kingdom of Avalonia. A trial to establish your merit, if you will. Beyond the plains to the north, you will find the notorious Caliburn Cave.
which is where we will be actually playing the game for the first time. Shortly. There's not much more of this left. We're about 80% of the way through.
Requires you to return safely from its innermost chamber. The worth of worth.
Yes, indeed.
I have little doubt that you, one of Avalonia's most promising young talents, will succeed and return triumphant.
Yes, well, they're having their 16th birthday when they're doing this, but by the time you're done with all of your talking, they'll be 17. Alright, so with that done, finally. Actually, then again, most of them don't have to put up with this guy talking to them. Generally, it will be the queen herself. I think she would talk a little bit faster, so we got the shit end of the stick having this guy tell us where to go. Go to Caliburn Cave, tickety-boo. And meanwhile, I'm falling asleep. It's actually a safety concern, because you'll be going out on your adventure and you'll be half asleep. Make your way to the town gates, thank you.
Hello there, young man.
Hello.
The Colonel told us you'd be heading out of town today. You're off to take the walk, aren't you?
Yes, you can actually tell who's voice acted and who isn't based on whether or not they have eyes. So if they have dots for eyes, it means that they're not going to have voice acting, so...
Right, well, I better open the gates then.
Right here. It's very nice of you to open the gates for me. They've got one guard guarding the gates. If I really wanted to get through, I probably would be able to.
Heading off to Caliburn Cave already, are you, lad?
Yes, I
I'd
am.
like to say I'll go with you, but that wouldn't make it much of a trial now, would it? No, lad. This is something you've got to do on your own. I'll be thinking of you, though. I may even remember to raise a glass to you down the pub.
Very nice of you.
Typical
Yeah.
Claymore. Same as ever.
Well, this guy actually has some sort of relevance to the story. That other guy is just a bit of a random, I think.
Well, good luck on the walk. Just follow the path across the plains and you'll be at Caliburn Cave before you know it.
Alright. Now we can begin the game. So this is the world, I suppose. It's not much of a world, it's like a small island. But anyway, you have various locations along this island, or around this island, I should say. And as you continue through the game, you'll be able to select more and more of these locations using your magical Wiimote that you're pointing at the screen. You can see that this is me here, in the sense that I'm the one moving it. And this is Caliburn Cave. This is the first place that we have access to, so we're going to head over there. My Wii needs to relax. It's seriously dying. When your HP falls to 0, yes, okay, well, I don't really need to look at any of that stuff. If you were really hell-bent on collecting everything that you possibly could, you could try and look through the grass here, I think, and pick up some stuff. My Wiimote is not really... Oh, examine. I didn't even know that I could find things in the tall grass. Anyway, we're going to ignore that, because nothing very interesting is present there. I know how it works. Thank you for dying. So once again, we just start off with some basic slimes, just basic combat, you know. We'll need to shield you, because you can see that he's gearing up for an attack. You just sort of have to watch the actual enemies and what they're doing. Oh, after having said that, I ended up, oh, lost my combo. Come on. Actually, I can attack you. Basically, when an enemy is gearing up for an attack, or they're in some sort of attack animation, they gain a lot of defense. So that's also an indication for when you should be shielding. If you are doing a lot of damage to an enemy and suddenly you're not dealing much damage at all and they're sort of doing something, it means they're gearing up for an attack, so you have to pull up your shield, basically. Yeah, they're just slimes, they're pretty boring enemies, they're just the basic starting enemies that you fight. Oh, there we go again. So I need to try and do some horizontals to hit more than one at a time, if I could possibly manage that. Here we go. So I've leveled up once, which is cool. Now I'm at level 2. There you go. We actually got a mini medal, which is... Those are really hard to get at this stage in the game. Or at the very least, rather rare. Smiling tear of an infant. I didn't even think of that, but I suppose that's what they are. If you do get hit with this dirt, you will just end up having that crap on your screen. It's not actually going to do any damage to you. All it does is make it so that you can't see anything in that particular spot of the screen. So it's not really a huge problem if that does affect you or does hit you. What I need to do is try to have my sensor bar in such a way that I don't need to lift my arm up. I want to sort of have my arm lower because it's more comfortable to have it that way. So just let me change the sensor bar position. I'll be one moment. Now hopefully my laptop isn't in the way of that. I don't know if the physical object of the laptop is going... Oh yes, the physical object of the laptop is getting in the way of that. Well, that makes sense. Okay, what I'll have to do is move that off to the side. That's alright. That's still fairly visible to me, so... yeah, let me just... there we go. Cool, so now I can just sort of rest my arm down and I have no problems actually. As you can see, the dirt is just on my screen like that. It's no real big problem at all. Can you stop jumping around? I lost my combo again. Yeah, it is pretty fun gameplay. And it's not too difficult either, it's just a bit of fun. These things, well, they're a bit weird, but they don't pose too much of a threat. So you have, I guess, one thing that you should try to do when you're playing this game is to... oh, you're falling asleep. That's so rude. He's taking so long to attack me, so I'm just going to fall asleep. That's basically what the game is telling me. Anyway, yeah, so at the end of each level you have certain stats, and I guess ideally you want to have the best stats possible. Ending stats, kind of to determine your performance in a level. So one stat is the accuracy stat. So the more you can hit the enemy and not miss, the higher your accuracy stat will be. It will be a percentage. And then you'll also have the total hit combo. So your highest hit combo will be converted into points, essentially. In fact, the entire thing will be converted into points. Depending on how good your stats are, that's converted into a number of points. And the more points you have at the end of a level, the higher your rank will be in the end. You've got certain... point brackets that
Welcome to Caliburn Cave.
are turned into actual ranks, so. It's not really like Elder Scrolls.
Son of old Claymores, but this is just the start of the Walk of the Worthy.
This is just the start of the Walk of the Worthy. Are you ready for the true test ahead?
Great. Well, here are a few things to help you on your way. Use one if things get hairy in there.
I don't know why things would be getting hairy, but
All right then.
I guess I just need a razor, huh?
With you. I pray that she will see you safe through the challenges that lie ahead. With all of your limbs still attached.
Of course, he's very doom and gloom, but it's not that difficult in there. There's nothing that's actually going to rip off my limbs as far as I can tell. Now I'm looking at black. Lovely. Oh, I see, because I went into the cave, but I didn't go far enough in to actually enter it, so I was kind of just staring at nothing. Yes, he did say hairy. He just means, like, bad. Hairy being a bit of a fancy way to say that, or a silly way to say that. Anyway, here are some bats. These are like the flying versions of those slimes. They're pretty simple to fight. Alright. I'm actually trying to get the highest hit combo that I can right now. Yeah, I know. Oh, didn't mean to actually do that. Got a piece of monster bone, and by that I mean do a thrust. I meant to do a horizontal strike, which did not work for me there. There we go. Now each enemy that your strike passes through will count for an extra hit. So, it's not just every single time one of your strikes makes contact with something, it does actually increase the number based on how many enemies have fallen into your strike sort of thing. I need a vertical here, because he will actually jump over our horizontal strikes. So oftentimes I will lose my hit combo on these idiots because they'll just jump over a horizontal strike that I didn't even intend to do most of the time. So, there we go. You are dead. So these guys, when they actually hit you with their ranged attacks, they do end up poisoning you. And I may have actually picked up some antidote herbs along the way. But it's not a huge deal if you get poisoned anyway. I will mention that even when the enemy is falling on the ground and stuff, you can end up... Why am I getting so many mini medals? This is crazy. There we go, we got an antidotal herb. But, yeah, I will mention that if you are really hell-bent on getting a super high hit combo, it's good to continue attacking the enemies even though they've fallen over. As long as they haven't actually disappeared, they are generally still something that you can hit. Unless they're too far away from you, that is. There we go. Alrighty. In reality, when your attack hits several people, it's still on. It's still one hit. Yeah, so it's not actually one hit. So let's say if I strike once and hit 2 enemies, that counts for 2 hits. That's how that works. So this is our first chest, which has a lucky bag inside. Now, you don't actually know what's inside of a lucky bag until you actually complete a level. You'll find out at the end. Now, this rock here, we can't actually break yet. We need an item called a boulder dasher to be able to break that rock. It's basically an item that we buy using mini medals, which we've actually been picking up in the level thus far. And I believe it requires 2 or 3 mini medals. Once we have that item, we can just attack this rock with our sword and it will break. If we do not have that item, our sword won't be able to do anything to it. But that's not really a rock that we need to open the way for. Like, we don't actually need to break that rock because that's just an optional direction to go in. So we won't actually want to go down there until we happen to be going through this area again in the future. And the only reason why we would want to do that is to pick up more materials to upgrade something, for example. So yeah, for now we don't need to worry about that direction. So we are at 80 hits at the moment. If I can get to 100, I'll be happy. Pretty much the number of hits you can get in a single area will increase depending on the area itself, or the level perhaps we could call it. Because basically, with every single level that you go through, I'd like to say that they become longer and harder. That's what she said. Master stroke, longer and harder, etc, etc. But anyway, point is that at a level like this, 100 hits is perfectly fine, so... going to hit you. Ooh, I just got poisoned, but that's alright. No! Fuck, did I get 100? I think I managed to get 100. I think it was like a... Oh, you bastard! That's also really bad. There is also a stat for all enemies killed. So, your stat is going to go down when you let an enemy run away, because that is not counting as a kill at that point. I'm going to have an antidotal herb, of which I only have 1. That's alright, we shouldn't get poisoned again. But even though we have lost our hit combo, we still have the stat of accuracy to talk about here. You do actually, like my Wiimote vibrates, and it does vibrate more depending on how many enemies actually get hit, so... Yeah, he unsheathes because it's the actual end of the confrontation. That's kind of how you know that the confrontation's over, because he sheathes his sword. More bats. So, oh shit, I missed it. I wanted to actually demonstrate the fact that you could still hit them to get more of a hit combo. I managed to sort of demonstrate it there. But anyway, oh, you ran away. Why the hell are you running away for? You're just making it so that my end score's going to be worse. That's terrible. You've also got shield accuracy as a stat as well. Pretty much anything that you can think of, there's a stat for. And the better you play, the more points you'll get in the end, and yeah. I don't think I'll be X ranking this one, needless to say. You've got C, B, A, S and X. So X rank is the hardest, but it's doable. Also, the time that it takes to complete an area is a stat as well. Yes, Sir Dirk Worthington. Alrighty. So we do have our Master Stroke available, so I'm going to use it right now. Master Strokes will generally just work no matter where the person is positioned. So let's say, for instance, the person is too far away to be struck by our sword normally. Like, for instance, he's too far away there. But basically, it normally would not matter if you're using a Master Stroke. There might be some scenarios where it can be blocked, but I can't think of any. Alright, come on, mate. Riposta! Let's go. And I think he's about to die, maybe. Oh, he's got a little bit of health left. Double! Alright, and then we'll do the death blow, and we can get a few more hits in as he dies, just to get a high hit combo. Monster bone. An attack from heaven and we're underground. That's a decent score. We got an A rank. I'm not too happy with that. It's mainly our guard accuracy that was the problem there. You can see we guarded only 23 out of 36 attacks. Our accuracy was 37%, not amazing. Our longest hit chain gave us decent points, but I was kind of expecting more for 104. Monsters vanquished, that's another stat as well. 90 out of 92. So, and the clear time was 9 minutes and 22 seconds, so not too bad. That's actually pretty fast to actually complete an area, but anyway. Renown is completely pointless, I'm just going to put it out there. I don't really know what the point of it is, but it's just a progress thing that you might be interested in. So the bunny tail, I don't even know what that's used for, to be honest. Hardwood headwear is pretty decent defense compared to what we have equipped right now, which is nothing to my knowledge, so that'll give us some more defense value.
Such mastery of the sword.
Yeah, I believe he was placed here to actually test people. That's his purpose.
Thou art worthy. I am defeated. So endeth the walk of the worthy.
Indeed. I would like to save my progress, and I will not overwrite anything over here because that would be quite sad. We are going to be overwriting this log. I do wish to continue my adventure. Sorry for bumping the microphone. Chapter 2, Doubt. Which is not in any way related to L.A. Noire. Welcome home, Doomlink. Thank you. It's track 1 of King Diamond's 1988 album. Anyway, so it's good to see you back in one piece. No need to worry about the state of your ship. Or was it track 2? Anyway, point is, yes, he's going to fix something up, which is very nice of him. Anyway, so we'll have a look at our current equipment. You can see that our headgear right now, we do actually have something equipped. It's a leather hat, but the hardwood headwear gives us 3 more defense, so we're going to actually equip it. We've got Wayfarer's clothes. I mean, none of this here is actually what we are equipped with, or how we visually appear. It's just equipment that is invisible, apparently. But anyway, there's an Indian man, and he spins the tumbler, and he also has a twin. And I forgot where his twin is, but he has a twin. And he is also an Indian man. And it's, you know, it's quite interesting because you can get some really good items from that tumbler. In particular, the best shield of the game is from that tumbler. So, yeah. You have to be really freaking lucky with it, though. You have to spin it really fast. A chosen undead thing. You compare this to all sorts of strange things. I do wish to try out the tumbler. Are you going to give me 1 tumbler ticket? Please give me one so that I can just spin it. See, look, this guy's nice. He gave me one for free. Alrighty. So what we need to do here is grab onto the tombola and spin it in a circle like this. And I've hurt my arm a number of times doing this, but it's more of a wrist movement than anything else, so... What do we got? What do we got? That was shit. 5th prize. Terrible. Oh, congratulations. The prize for the number 5 ball is a strong medicine. Here you go. I may come by again sometime in the future. But to put it into perspective, it's so hard to get the platinum shield, which is the hardest shield to get in the game, or the strongest shield, but it's pretty hard to get. It was so difficult for me to get that I just bloody gave up. So I wanted to do 100% of my Let's Play of this game, and I just gave up because of that shield. It ended up being 100% except for that, so it's not really a big deal. I wasn't necessarily advertising it as a 100% run or anything, it's just I thought that it would be nice to do 100% because it's pretty easy to do all the content in this game. But the platinum shield is not actually the easiest thing to get. But of course, when it comes to what you're talking about, Paul, obviously you have certain defense values for all of the stuff that you have equipped. Obviously, the body is more important than... Well, you could argue that the head is more important, because in the end, your brain is kind of important, but anyway. Yeah, it's all on the same controller. It's comfortable enough because it's very basic movement. All of my movement is done with the, I guess, directional pad here. And then you've got everything else swinging around. You've got this for the menu, 2 for master strokes. I don't think the plus and minus buttons do anything. No, they don't. So it's all 1, 2, the directional stuff. A is, of course, to talk to people. B is to walk forward. So if I press that, I start walking forward. So, but I can also press up and down on the D-pad to walk forward. So if I wanted to, I could just hold B and press left and right to sort of move myself. But anyway, let's go in here. I think we have a right to speak to the Queen, because we've just gone and completed a thing.
An exemplary demonstration.
Thank
of
you.
the finest execution of what can only be described as well done. Custom dictates that Her Majesty the Queen would now congratulate you, but as you will see, she is elsewhere at present.
She is.
Accordingly, I have been composing a short speech in recognition
Please no.
of your admirable return from the war.
I've had to listen to you talk enough already, mate. Here we go.
You were stonking.
Thank you.
You now rank amongst Avalonia's most valued knights. Yes, you have taken your place as one of the worthy protectors of our great realm.
Lovely.
I don't suppose, if I may be so bold as to inquire, that you happen to know the whereabouts of Prince Andus?
No, I would like to think that you would have a better idea of that than myself.
He was sent into something of a flap by Her Majesty's...
He was sent into something of a flap, which is bad. Yeah.
I'm afraid
We wouldn't want him to be in a flap now, would we?
to being told he was not to accompany her. He is a fine young man. When it comes to his mother, he can be somewhat willful.
I do like that thing that he says
I must
right there.
confess that this whole sorry business has left me feeling really rather wobbly.
Wobbly. Well, we wouldn't want you feeling wobbly now, would we? Therefore, it has fallen upon me to address the situation, because not only is Anless in a flap, but Minister Misericord is also feeling rather wobbly. So, between flap and wobbly, it's pretty clear that this is quite the dire situation, so... Is it like Tickety-Boo? The short of it is yes, it is like Tickety-Boo. In that you shouldn't use it. I keep bumping my microphone stand, I do apologise for that. My setup is a bit more bizarre than it usually is, so yeah.
Done already, lad?
Yes.
So, how did it go? You reported back to Her Majesty, I hope.
Yeah, no.
No? She wasn't at the castle? Then where's she gone? Huh? Who's that banging on the door at tea time? Hey, maybe it's that lass I was getting to know better at the pub last night.
It is I, Prince Anless.
Oh. So normally people actually wait at the door instead of inviting themselves in, but I suppose if you're the prince, you just sort of do whatever you want.
Intrusion, but I must ask a favor of you.
Okay, forgive the intrusion isn't really enough to excuse the fact that you just walked into someone's house instead of waiting for them to answer the door to let you in. It's not really how that works.
What an unexpected pleasure. Good to see you looking well, lad.
Mm-hmm.
I am far from well, sir. I fear for
Oh,
Mama.
Mama.
She has been behaving most uncharacteristically of late. Were her aloofness limited to her public demeanor, I should not be so troubled. But she is as a stranger to her own son. Her very flesh and
Oh,
blood.
how tragic.
My boy here was just telling me how she wasn't at the castle when he came back from the walk.
Quite so. Mother has ventured off
That
to
dad has
Galantyne
nice
Glades, of all
pants.
places. She is on her way
Hadn't really
back
noticed,
to
but I
Seacove.
suppose he does have nice pants.
Galantyne? There's a hot spring there that caps them all, I hear.
I'm terribly worried. What if Mama is unwell?
Mama is sick of your shit, kid. That's why she's left.
She absconded with barely a manservant in attendance. Such clandestine behavior is most perturbing. I have resolved to pursue her, which brings me to the favor I wish to ask. Will you escort me?
Oh, you can see the crotch. I hadn't noticed that. But I can see there's a bit of a bulge Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what you're after.
There's
But
quite the
did you
bulge
just
going
say Her
on.
Majesty left in secret?
Well, tight pants are tight pants.
Indeed.
All he's doing is projecting his manliness. His
Well, she's not
masculinity.
that bad. She has her reasons, I'm sure. She might not take kindly to being stalked.
You mean to say?
Yeah, she wouldn't take kindly to being stalked with a guy with a big bulge in his pants. She's the queen after all. It's not very
I'm sorry,
savoury.
Your Highness.
And I cannot persuade you to reconsider.
No, lad. I'm afraid you can't.
Bam. The prince just got sat down.
In that case, I shall
Figuratively.
seek assistance
Don't sit
elsewhere.
down on the bed. That would be even ruder than you actually walking in on your own. No, it wouldn't actually. It would add to the rudeness though.
I don't know. That lad's always been a sight too worried about his mum, if you ask me. I remember it landing him in trouble before now. Still, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit worried myself this time. I tell you what, why don't you give the prince a hand, eh, lad?
Give the prince a hand.
I can rely on you, right?
Maybe give him a master stroke as well. Has nothing to do with, you know, I'm just giving him a hand.
This is a stubborn one.
Not literally,
He
just
won't give up
figuratively.
now the idea's in his head, but we can't let him go to Galantyne alone.
It's
too
not that he's
dangerous.
feeling tense and we need to ease it with our hand or anything. No, it's none of that. I do like your observations, Paul. I wouldn't have noticed that he had a big bulge in his pants if it weren't for you. Alright, so Anless is looking a little bit downtrodden. So let's have a chat to him. Here we go. Oh, I thought he was going to do his his fancy move, never mind.
I hardly need
He has a fancy way of turning around.
Father's answer.
It's quite
Whoever
effeminate,
will find to assist me
but he
now.
didn't do it this time.
But of course, being refused by Claymore hardly precludes my asking you.
Indeed.
Will you accompany me to Galantyne Glades?
I will press A to say yes.
Thank you. Knowing I shall have you by my side raises my spirits no end. I'm in
Well, I only just turned 16, so I don't know how
It falls to you to
reassured
see
you
me
are,
past
but
them.
whatever makes you happy, man. Excuse me. Here comes the music. I've always had a problem with this music, but apparently it's, you know, from the old games, so that's why they do it.
When you have made ready, we shall convene again here prior to departing.
Rightio. Do you have a bulge? Not really. I mean, you have a small convex shape, but not quite a bulge.
So, you're off on an adventure with Prince Anlis, are you?
Yes.
Well, I better hurry up and open the gates then, hadn't I?
Yes, indeed. Thank you for speaking the obvious, my friend. Music from porn? I don't... What kind of porn are you watching?
Take care now, won't you? Keep the prince out of harm's way.
Yeah, leave it to me. And if he is harmed, then I guess that'll be my fault.
Come.
See, look at how he just...
We can ill afford to tarry if we are to have any hope of finding Mother.
In my Let's Play of Dragon Quest Swords, I took that scene of him turning around going, "Come!" and I repeated it over and over again, "Come, come, come!" And, you know, just to further, I guess, instill the idea of everything being sexual in the minds of anyone who might be watching, but anyway. Waving his arm going, "Come, come!" And needless to say, I came. So, we're going to head off to Galantyne Glades now, which is a slightly more difficult location or area to go through compared to Caliburn Cave. Of course, Caliburn Cave was just a bit of a basic introduction to how to play the game, as you would expect. Mushroom. These guys we can continue to attack to get our hit chain up, which is what I will be doing. Oh, completely missed that one. I think I also lost my hit chain there. Yeah, I did. Fuck me dead. I'm absolutely and then he runs away to add insult to injury. Yeah, I know, the prince returns. Anyway, so, nothing useful. I've always had a problem with that. Nothing useful. The game is deciding for me whether or not it's useful. What if I'm interested in some small bugs? Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I want a snack. Anyway, yeah, come on. Do a horizontal attack so that I can hit them more. Yeah, relax, mate. I'm trying to do it. Oh, that did not work. Trying to do a horizontal strike. I can never do the strike that I want to do, but anyway. Just moving my microphone a little bit to excuse the noise that is created whenever I do that. But yeah, this is a nice relaxing location to go through. It's just a forest, I suppose. Do the horizontal strikes to try and kill those guys. I'm getting pretty decent hit chain going. Yeah, he will continue to jump out like that. He does it from time to time. The prince returns! And he will continue to say it for quite some time. So obviously, it's just in case no one knew that the prince had returned. And having said that, I don't even know if he went anywhere to therefore return. Like, where did he go? Why was he gone? I need closure. Anyway, so these green bats oh shit, I always let that sort of thing happen. Oh, whatever. I probably shouldn't allow myself to worry so much about my hit chain. I'll just casually try to have it be good, but I won't, like, get annoyed if it becomes bad. Because it doesn't matter that much in the end. I allowed myself to get a little bit annoyed by it in the Let's Play, but I'm not going to do that this time around. Alrighty. How can I be mind that you strokes large white dildo looking thing? That's an interesting comment that you've just made. What is the white dildo looking thing anyway? This is gold, man. Gold dildo. Anyway. Oh. Losing my hit chain like you wouldn't believe right now. Well, not really like you wouldn't believe. You can see it for yourself. Don't run away, please. I don't want a terrible score. Alright, we just got a master stroke gauge up to 100%. Or our master stroke gauge up to 100%. But we probably won't use it until the boss anyway. I rarely find a need to use it outside of the boss, so... or outside of the boss confrontation. So I believe that they're actually casting Diminish Shield, which makes your shield really small. So I don't think that actual ranged attack that those bats are doing is actually going to hurt you. That's my knowledge of it. Or my memory of it, I should say. Pretty sure it's Diminish Shield. It basically makes your shield super small. And the prince returned again, by the way. This is also good for the hit chain. Alrighty, right. Oh, I wanted to pick that up. Oh, hold on. Another mini medal. I have never actually played this game before and gotten so many mini medals so early in the game. It's crazy. I have to go and talk to the mini medal person. This is like monumental. Alrighty. So we only had to fight one pigman that time, which is good. Oh, the giant microphone, right. Well, I mean, it's not that white. It's kind of greyish cream colour. Anyway, so fair enough. It is a bit of a giant white dildo, I do have to agree. Damn. I was on a 57 there. I was wanting to at least get it higher, but whatever. Can't have everything, can you? Got some jellyfish. Oh, they're healing. Right. So I know the pink ones heal, but I had forgotten that the blue ones were healing as well. That's kind of annoying. So basically, whenever you see those jellyfish, just kill them. Because they are going to make the confrontation go a lot longer than it needs to if they're healing the person that you're trying to kill. Oh. So I need to remember if I'm going left or right here. Because you do return to the Galantyne Glades later on, and the direction you need to go changes. So, I just need to remember which one this is. Holy fucking shit. I suck at this so much. I can never do the strike that I actually want to do. And how was it that I was setting my focal point at that time, and I slashed randomly? That's bizarre. You can see that a piece of my shield just broke off. I'll need to have that shield repaired. But basically you can see that the shield is sort of broken up into different sections. And each time the shield does break, it will break into those different parts. I think I actually want to go the other way. Let's just go this way. Hopefully we don't regret it. Now we've got a knight and his slime. They have a very special relationship. Yeah, the gameplay does evolve as time goes on. And those boars are, I suppose, the next level. But you can see there was a funny situation there where there were two slimes but only one guy riding. And the slime that wasn't chosen got upset. But he should actually be happy because he ended up not dying, so... Now there are two slimes and two riders, so both slimes can be happy. Oh. My accuracy is a bit shit right now. Hopefully my guard accuracy is good. I've got no idea though. I always feel like my guard accuracy is okay, but I guess not. Basically, if I ever allow myself to get hit, that basically means that I've failed in that guard scenario, that's how that works. So it's not just about having your guard up and then missing it. It's actually whenever you get hit, that counts as a failed guard. Damn it. You'd better not run away, mate. Thank you. Not more of them, I'm gonna have a drink. Bastards. So it seems that those blue guys are a little bit more prone to actually running away. I don't really know the meme, Paul, but fair enough. I got a vial of magic water. And that's not really useful to us right now, but you can see that Anlas has MP. A vial of magic water will allow us to actually gain more MP. Once again, I continue to attack him even though he's dead, just so that I can get a higher hit combo. Anyway, we are now at the boss.
Look, I see a break in the undergrowth. And sunlight. There's a glade just ahead.
Indeed. Well, I thought we were in the glade for the entirety of the time. It's called Galantyne Glades, after all. But apparently not.
Mother walked along this same path, but recently. I'm almost sure of this.
His mama senses a tingling. Now, this is one thing I've never understood. How can it be that this guy's falling through the sky and causing the ground to shake as he's falling from the sky? That's what I want to know.
This my garden. Trespassers will be persecuted, though the organic female escaped. You will know.
Is it necessary to say that she's organic? Like, we're organic as well.
The beast makes its threats in earnest. Ready your sword, comrade. On guard.
Rightio. Briquet? I don't even know how to pronounce that, but it's French.
Scrutinize the enemy carefully.
Here we go. Sort of have to watch to where... You watch for where he's going to punch. He telegraphs the attack quite a lot. You can see Anlas just did his magic there. Or cast his magic. It's Sizz, I believe it's called. It's just regular fire magic. Organic waste. What an insult. How many bosses in the gaming world have insults like organic waste? I fought a boss and it called me organic waste. Alright, hurry up and die, mate. Deal the death blow. Alrighty. And that is a dead stone soldier.
Bravo!
Alright, what is our score? It's pretty much exactly the same as the previous run, which is surprising. I don't remember what the score of the previous one was, but it was 11 something. So, well, it's in 11,000 something. Alrighty. So if we have a look, our guard accuracy is even lower than before. I think it was 87% in the previous area. This time it's 83%. Our accuracy is around the same, I think. Maybe. Well, monsters vanquished you can see. It's not perfect either. What have we got? Life ring. Well, I guess we'll check that out to see if it's worth equipping, but for now we'll have to watch this cutscene.
Praise be to the goddess. The fiend is defeated at last.
Quite so.
Come, We must make haste.
Well, you can go as fast as you want, Atlas. I will be following you. It is your mother after all.
Look, a hut. Someone surely resides here. But we must approach with quick, hide yourself.
Those clothes are familiar. Who could it be? What's with the spooky mask?
Mama!
Oh, really? Well, with that, I will turn down the level of the TV.
Too late. She's gone. Did you see her mask? She has taken to wearing it of late.
Well, I'm glad that you found it necessary to do your effeminate little spin there.
On why? It is a mystery, even to me. What business could have possibly brought Mother to this lowly lodging? Come, we must make our presence known.
Who are you?
Atlas is like, what is that thick French accent? Now the irony is that this girl was actually training to be a nun. Now look how she's dressed. Quite the opposite, needless to say.
We merely wish to inquire as to the affairs of your scarce departed visitor. What brought her to your shack, lady?
I mean, I suppose it's also worth saying that this is kind of set in medieval times almost. That kind of dress, or that style of dress, is absolutely not in keeping with that. But anyway.
Forgive me, lady. I have not yet introduced myself. Anlus, Prince of Avalonia, at your service.
Ah, oui. Yes, I had in my mind that I had seen you before. My name is Fleurette. Enchantée.
Enchanté.
Ah, that bijou, your earring. It is the work of the great jeweler, Ricasso.
Ricasso. Sounds nothing like Picasso, of course.
It is. A present from Mama, in fact.
That's one way to put it, Paul.
That is by the by. I command you to tell me why my mother was here.
My brother. He was one of the heroes who defeated Zyphos. Ever since then, he is suffering from a malady. I tried to help him, but my magic was useless. He left me here alone. I do not know where he is gone.
Forgive me, good lady, but I believe you misheard me. I inquired of my mother, not your brother. You say your brother battled the Deathbringer. Then you are the sister of Araval.
I guess you can narrow it down pretty easily when we're talking about the French.
Araval was one of those
There mustn't be many French people in this place.
Against Zyphos.
If you know this, then I believe I can tell you everything.
I don't know if I'm entirely happy with the colours, actually, now that I look at them. I'm actually going to edit the colours slightly in terms of of what you're seeing on the screen. I don't know how I would change them. They're basically set to make Wind Waker look good, but I need to actually edit them a bit more. Let me just see. Yeah, maybe the brightness a bit. If I drop the contrast back and increase the brightness, that's probably going to do the job. We'll do that, I think. That's going to work a bit better. Sorry to make these edits on the fly. I just don't want the game to look too dark. It looked as if it was a bit too dark, so just changed it a bit.
To meet my brother. She was on her way to the healing hot spring. But when I told to her that my brother was not here, it did not seem to surprise her.
And? Is there nothing more you can tell us? Nothing unusual you noticed about her? Did she look well?
Well, oui. Though that hideous mask made it hard to tell. Who is the designer? Someone famous?
That is a question I should like to ask my mother. She took to wearing it without a word of explanation.
So it was not a famous designer's caprice? But I was sure I recognized it.
In summary, then, we know little more about my mother's intentions. What we do know is that she was on her way to a hot spring famous for its healing properties. Then there can be no doubt. Mama
It's
has
good to
done well.
know, Paul.
I must return to the castle at once and attend to her.
I've also been doing a master stroke off camera.
Forgive me, but I dare not tarry. Good day.
You can't see everything. Everything below my shoulders you cannot see.
But of course. I knew I had seen the mask before. I assumed it must be because it was a work of a famous designer, but no. It is the mask I once saw when I was lost in the mountains. At Arondight Heights, I believe.
Arondight Heights.
I was just a young girl. I remember only that I found the mask so frightening. I do not have a good feeling about this. Why would the queen wear such a mask?
It's worth mentioning as well, the actual full title of this game is Dragon Quest Swords, The Masked Queen, and the Tower of Mirrors. Now, imagine having a game title that's so long. It's not necessary, just call it Dragon Quest Swords.
That she was not surprised when I told her my brother had vanished.
Unless they were intending on having a series called Dragon Quest Swords, which never eventuated to my knowledge. This is the only game called Dragon Quest Swords.
She knows something. Of that I am sure. I must meet with her again. I will go to the castle, and I will demand from her the truth.
Alrighty. So that is chapter 2 done. Did I say no? I meant to say yes. I'm used to yes being on the right and no being on the left. Anyway. I guess so. Yeah, there's not much that I can do about the TV being audible, I suppose. But hopefully it's not distracting in any way. What I'll do is I will watch the live stream here after it's been recorded, just to see if it's actually bothersome for me. And if it is bothersome for me, then I'll probably mute the game or something. So that's probably what I'll do.
Wasn't Prince Anless with you when you left?
That is a great face he's making right now.
Oh yes, now I remember. He came back on his own a while ago. In a terrible hurry he was. And guess who else is back in town? Florette. We haven't seen her here in ages.
Apparently this guy knows everyone. Might talk to the Indian man and maybe get a tombola ticket or something by buying some of his wares. I might get 2 replenish... Oh, actually, that's a bit expensive. I'll get 1 replenish shield. You know what? I'm not even going to get that. What I'm going to do is go to a different person. She is a fat woman who will also give me tombola tickets as I purchase things from her. And I'm going to purchase from her because I think it will be best to aim for more defense, because why the hell not? I don't really need replenish shield powder right now. Actually, the way in which I get more defense from her is by actually buying equipment. So I can get a new shield, which maybe won't break so quickly. compared to the well, the platinum shit. You know, this is not good money. Like, this is 2 points of durability more than my current shield, and look how expensive it is. This is only 1 point of durability difference as well, so just generally speaking, it would probably be better to get this iron armor. Look at the big difference that makes. Let's go buy that. 870 gold coins. I can definitely foot the bill for that. I will put it on while I'm here. I got a tumbler ticket. Alrighty. I will have a go on the tumbler. Yeah, I think you got that right, Paul, but the guy might be stupid. I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, here is the Indian man and his twin. A peddler friend of mine told me something a bit worrying the other day. He said he'd heard that a terrifying monster had been sighted, which no one had ever seen the like of before. I don't know if it's true or not, mind. Might just be talk. Well, you've got a twin who has not informed me of such a thing. And to prove that they're not the same person, look! Are you telling me that that guy we just talked to ran back somehow and got here? I would doubt it. Anyway. Tombola. Yes. I do wish to use it and have a go on the Tombola. Alrighty. So we've got the happy golden star. And what is that, 5th prize again? Strong medicine, yes! Just what I wanted. Now, of course, I would read his text, but I can't possibly read his... I mean, I've done it before, reading his text without an Indian accent, but right now, I think that if I were to read his text, it would have to be in an Indian accent, and I would rather not actually offend anyone. Because if any of you have watched Mind Your Language, I would do it like that. Anyway. So let's go and talk to someone. I don't even know who we're talking to, but I would guess that we need to go to the castle. Maybe. Who are you stroking yourself to now, Paul? Has something untoward happened? Yes. Yes, I did witness the mask for myself. It's very great when we don't have to actually listen to him talk, I have to say. It's excellent, in fact. Just adjusting the mic a little bit more, sorry. So you needed me to actually tell you that I had seen her wearing the mask myself, and then you go on to say that you've seen her wearing it as well, so... why the hell would I lie about that? Anyway. So, I think I know where we need to go. We need to go to the church, which is where Fleurette is hanging around. I can imagine the situation being, you know, all the nuns in the church are going, "Oh, what are you wearing, Fleurette? Take that off." And then, you know, one of those erotic scenes where she's being stripped naked. Anyway, so what we're going to do is talk to her, and I believe we'll be able to further the story at that point. And go to Arondight Heights. But, I think we need to... actually, we don't go around the back. We can just talk to her like this. Because she's sort of standing in the hall. Or not. She'll be in our house. Fuck's sake. I never know what I'm doing. The church is later. She will be in there after we've talked to her in our house. For some reason, she decides to chill out in our house first and foremost.
Ah, there you are. I was waiting for you. Pardon? How did I know this was your house? Well, I did not think you lived in a shop or at the church.
Well, I guess not many people have their own houses in this village, which is a bit of a shame.
To ask of you. Will you accompany
I will do so.
Merci.
No
Now
problem.
I am going to the church to see my old friends. You will rendezvous with me.
Yeah, sure. I think I cut off her voice a little bit.
À bientôt. See you at the church.
I mean, I may as well follow you there because I'm not doing anything in here. Except talking to this abusive man.
Ladies, eh, lad? Just like your dad.
Indeed.
Oh, heck. No need to tell your mama said that when she gets back, eh? She'll only be ticked off. It's now to put men's talk.
Now, this is one thing that's worth mentioning. I thought that our mother was dead or something, right? Because he was getting to know a lass down at the pub. Obviously, this guy is not the most faithful, because apparently our mother is just away somewhere. This guy's dodgy. So he's physically abusive, and he's also an adulterer, so that's great. We've got a great father in this game. Abusive crotch. Alrighty. So, now we talk to Fleurette in the church and see what she has to say. Once again, my Wii is just exploding loading the disc right now.
This place has so many memories for me. I was training here to be a nun, but then my brother became sick
And then I got into goth outfit stuff.
Ah oui, I have not yet told you. I went to the castle, but Her Majesty would not see me. Now I have no other choice. I have to uncover the truth for myself. I have to find out about this mask the Queen wears. I know I am right. I know it is the same mask I saw on Mount Arondight when I was a child. That mask hides a dark secret. I am sure of it. That is why I must go to Mount Arondight and find it again. And you, I forget, what do you call yourself? Will you tell me, Cherie?
So basically we tell her our name, but of course because it is voice acted, she's not going to be able to say Doomling. So therefore, how they do it is we tell her our name. She doesn't really like our name, which is slightly insulting. And then she just decides to call us by a name that she can actually say because she's voice acted once again.
Oh. Anyway, perhaps I will call you Blade.
That's fine.
Enchanté, Blade.
So my name's Blade now, apparently. I think that if you say no, she'll give you a different name, but I don't know what it is. I always say yes to Blade.
You go ahead, Blade, and wait for me outside of town.
So I'm going to finish off this last bit of beer, and I'll have my second. Good old Boris. Boris the communist. It is an Australian beer, though. I very rarely drink Australian beer, but Boris the Russian Imperial Stout is very good. Once again, it's one of my favorites. Alrighty. So, basically, the church acts as sort of like a save point. I think it's normal for games like, you know, traditional RPGs to use the church as a place to save. That's my knowledge of it. I'm not much of a traditional RPG player, like, you know, from the 90s, like those old 90s RPGs. But that's what I would guess. Boyaris. Really? Let me have a look. Oh yeah, I see. Don't worry, it's for Australians to look at, not actual Russians, so to us it just looks like Boris. Boyas. Oh, it was in red heat? Yeah, because apparently I mean, even though in Russia you guys use some of the same letters we do, they're completely different in terms of their sound and usage, so... I don't know if we head for the gates now. I guess we do. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. We end up talking to him and then... Yes, and then Fleurette's running to try and catch up to us because she was busy doing something else. Alrighty. So we have been streaming for about an hour and 35 minutes. I'll probably go for another hour or something like that. We'll see. Ooh la la.
Forgive me, Blade. It took me longer than I was expecting to prepare myself.
Yeah, you only needed your staff and nothing else.
Oh, it is time, huh? Let us go to Arondight Heights.
Alrighty. Now we're on to the third area of the game, which will be the longest one so far, by a significant margin from memory. I don't watch too many American movies about the Soviet era with Russia, but I'd imagine it's just for English-speaking people to understand it. Oh, missed that one. Quel tour de force. Missing this guy a bit. He's actually hitting me with his shovel instead of just shoveling dirt in my face for once, so... Anyway. I think shielding the dirt is good for your guard stat, so that's why I'm doing it. Not really for anything else. Bien. Thank you. Oh. Don't know what you mean by what is this sound quelling. So these guys are running away. If you don't kill them immediately, they just run away apparently, which is kind of terrible, but anyway. Now after Arondight Heights, I'm probably going to start leveling up my weapon a little bit. I'm actually able to level up my weapon now, but I haven't done that, so I probably should have done that to be honest, but I guess I'm just trying to make the game a little bit harder for myself by not leveling up. Actually, that's just an excuse. I'd completely forgotten that I could level up, so I didn't do that, but we're probably going to give that a try in the next, or before the next area that we enter. Because the next area is actually going to punish us if we do not upgrade our weapon. Whereas this one, we're still probably going to be okay. My browser's having problems with the... Actually, it doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to play it anyway. Squelling. So these boulders you just need a shield. And then I think the third boulder that rolls down is actually an enemy. Never mind, it's the fourth one. The fifth one. Okay, bombs away. We're going to attack him. You can see that we can get some more hits in after he's dead once again. Like many other enemies. There is a slight colour difference between the guys that explode and the ones that don't. So we just killed a silver slime. You were not able to see him very well, but he was actually walking past while we were attacking those boulders. Very occasionally you will get those silver slimes and they drop lots of experience. So that's why we randomly leveled up out of nowhere. So... Dirt has broken my shield. Woe is me. The shield will probably not last this entire area, to be honest. But I'll do my best. If I've only got like a tiny bit of my shield left, like your entire shield will never break. It will just leave one little bit in the middle for you to shield with, which will probably be enough, really. I've never actually just gone and attacked him instead of shielding him before. It works pretty well. I don't even know what these enemies are for. Like, why are they anchors? Like, why are there anchors in this place in the first in the first place. I didn't really want to repeat place repeatedly, but anyway. I even said repeat repeatedly. Like, I'm the king of saying words over and over again. For the sake of repetition. I absolutely hate these guys. So what I actually end up doing is I use... damn. What can I actually do to kill these guys? Because I always end up getting poisoned by these people. I call them people, but they're clearly not people. Oh, can you stop moving around, you fucking insufferable creatures? They always poison me, you see. Always. They're very annoying. They're probably the most annoying enemies in the game for me, and they're pretty much only here and nowhere else. Fortunately, I do have Fleurette to heal me from poison, which is nice, but still, it's fucking terrible. Anyway, I lost my accuracy points a lot there, so that kind of sucked. So at this point, we get onto the raft and go down the river. And we are technically in combat at this time. I missed. Your hero, I completely missed. So owl in French is the same as dick in Russian, which is great to know. Not sure what relevance that has to anything. I mean, I guess if it has to do with Sekiro, then fair enough. But, anyway. I want to try and hit this guy. I missed again. It's really annoying. I used to be better at that. Obviously, I'm not as good anymore. Sacre bleu. Oh, I knocked my microphone. That would have been really loud. I apologise for that. Alrighty, and now we're covered with water, but we can continue, fear not. I could have attacked that thing, but I chose not to, because, I don't know. Don't know why I chose not to. That was another one of those silver... whatchamacallits. Oh, I forgot to go to the mini-metal shop, because I do have a lot of those, considering the point in the game I am at. Green monkeys. So we want to continue straight, because both the right and left directions are entirely optional. So I'm just going to go this way. Got the anchor again. This firebird guy, you can attack him back with his fire and deal damage to him. That looked rather painful. I'm gonna have all these guys in my face here. Come on. Bloody bastards. Ooh, I wanted to hit that frickin' silver guy again. Oh, that didn't work out so well. Oh, so many enemies are running away. I'm going to get a really shit score for this run, I have to tell you. So many enemies have run away and my accuracy is in the toilet. So I'm really not looking forward to my end score.
Oui, like that.
This thing's going to explode in my face if I don't attack it like right now. I have to just let the fucking dirt hit me. So the dirt does actually do damage to you in this level. It doesn't do damage to us in Caliburn Cave, the first area. My accuracy is absolutely garbage right now. It's terrible. It's bloody annoying. Okay, I have to hit you. I was getting distracted by something on my laptop. I don't have my Twitch chat up right now. It's not a big problem because, to be honest, like, no one's watching on Twitch, which is not surprising, but anyway. Alrighty. I can actually get my hit chain up here and maybe help my accuracy along a little bit. And I'll do the same with you. I'm up to 50, maybe 60 hits, there we go. Flaret has learned Magni Shield now that she's leveled up. Just need to bring up my Twitch chat, there we go. Still nothing, but that's alright. That's fine, you can hit me. There we go, 88 hits. Pretty good. That confrontation alone got me like 60 additional hits, which is crazy. We've got Replenish Shield Powder, which will actually be useful because our shield right now kind of sucks. So it will be good to actually repair that once we are at the boss fight, because I have a feeling that by the time we get to the boss fight it will be mostly broken. And probably during the boss fight it will be mostly broken as well. Damn it, that's not good. So these guys are actually going to attack the ropes that are holding the bridge. So it's not a good thing to let them live. I say them plural because there are more than one, as you can see. Now these two will be trying to break the stuff. And if we fail too much against these guys, we will have a problem. Can't hit him from this distance. I lost my fucking hit chain as well, but whatever, I'm used to that. You can see that the actual rope itself is frayed now. So we can't let them do this much more. Alrighty. Yeah, Dark Souls and Demon Souls are pretty typical Japanese games, to be honest. Gonna move my shield like this now. I can actually control the way the shield... Oh god. See, I can turn the shield around like that. I've got full control. I can't believe that I managed to thrust and... Again, twice I thrusted accidentally and it ended up being completely off target. Ridiculous. Definitely not what I wanted. Monkeys. I absolutely hate apes and primates and the like. So therefore I must hate humans as well. Okay, so we're about to fight a giant slime. So this is another opportunity to get my hit chain up, and I fucked it up. Terrible. I'm gonna get a really shit score. I'll be lucky to even get an A rank. I probably will get an A rank, but it's still, like, not the best. So this guy here will have an appearance later on in the game, much later on, as King Latem. He will be a silver version of that, and he is going to be a lot harder to fight, in the sense that it's very easy for him to run away, but he will give you a lot of experience. Oh. Well, whatever. We are genetically derived from them. I didn't know that Christians didn't believe that, whatever.
This is the place from where I saw the mask.
Doesn't necessarily have to be an evolutionary thing, but whatever.
It is strange though. I am sure I saw it over on that mountain.
It's because there's a lot of fog, so you can't see the mountain. Yep, hold your skirt, lady. Or hold your dress. Rightio, I'm just at the top of a mountain, sorry.
Who is this foul squawker? A remnant of the Death Ring's demonic army.
Probably.
Ah! Look out, Blade! Here it comes!
Wow, look at me and my 3 eyes. Envoy of
Do
Xiphos.
it like you mean it.
So I'm tempted to repair my shield because I'm gonna need good shielding capabilities against this guy, as you're about to see.
Meet here. Oui, Blade! Oui! My hero!
Now, compared to a later version of this boss, this guy is painfully slow, so I don't mind fighting him. Oh. Damn it. So once again, this is made harder with a weaker shield. And the less you actually shield this guy, I believe the less opportunity you get to actually attack him in this situation. These pig guys are being really annoying. Alright, now you come. Because I was worried that they were going to stay back there where I couldn't hit them. I should be using my Master Stroke now that I think about it. Can you stop with that? Mighty Strike. Readying Master Stroke. And thrust it into the sky. And it's not going to do too much damage, but that's alright. Because the sooner we do that Master Stroke, the better. Because we will... Actually, you know what? I'm going to use Magna Shield. Oh, she's got no fucking anything. So let's just use this. But what I was saying was that the sooner that we actually use our Master Stroke, the sooner as well we'll be able to get it to 100% again and use it more than once. But that is going to take a lot of hits before we get to that point. Effectively 100, so... But like the hit combos, as you can see, if I'm attacking more than one enemy with a single stroke, it gives me that same number instead of just one individual hit. Alright. Oh, for a second I thought it was one of those green monkeys. It's just because he's wearing this green shirt. Now that I think about it, it's kind of funny that they're wearing green shirts. Well, it's more than a shirt. It's more like a... It's almost like a dress. Do you want to fight pigs wearing dresses? Play Dragon Quest Swords. I'm always bad with the first hit, but the rest I can pretty much shield. Fuck. It's really hard to stay on target with this asshole. Also, it's kind of needed to have an upgraded sword for this fight, as you can tell, but... Anyway. I think I can thrust you back, and yes, I can thrust you back and deal damage. That's a good point. I just remembered that. What are you doing? Die? Well, I'm not going to die from that. It does take too long. It's because I have a weak sword right now. I was able to upgrade my sword before, but I forgot to do that. So I'm having to deal with the fact that my attacks are actually considerably weak against the boss here. It wasn't too bad versus the regular enemies, but this is not working out so well. as you can tell. Alright. So that did a decent amount of damage, but once again it is lacking a little bit. I believe that with every single upgrade to a weapon, we get a new Master Stroke. So this is going to speed up the fight considerably, because we can actually hit these back. But it only did 1 damage, which is like nothing. It's quite poor. Damn it. I just hate how like, my accuracy is going to be so bad at the end of this. Seriously. It's going to be absolutely terrible. Yeah, bombs away. It makes it easier for me. Just need to thrust a lot of these. Here you go. Cool. What are you doing? I've never seen that before. So look, I'm doing basically no damage with my attacks here. Now what he should let me do is hit more than 1 back. But as soon as he gets hit with 1, or she, whatever the hell it is, he just gets flinched and doesn't do it anymore. Which is really annoying. Need to actually, I'll be back in 1 moment. Just needed to blow my nose briefly. So we're almost to the end of this confrontation, fear not. I know it is a little bit repetitive. Normally it would not take this long. Now I will mention that our shield, as it is right now, cannot be broken further than this. This is considered to be way too small to really work as a normal shield or a good shield. So they're nice enough not to break it further than this. But there is actually a smaller shield than this in the game, but it is not advised that you actually use it. It's called the Orichalcum Teaspoon, and it's really quite terrible. Come on, thrust, there we go. Oh, deal the death blow, rightio. There we go, so that's the boss. And I think we're going to get a really bad score. We're going to get a bad score for time, we're going to get a bad score for accuracy. The total hits is going to be shit as well. Hopefully we get an A. Oh yeah. Wow, that actually ended up being pretty decent. What the fuck? How did I get an S? That's insane. I guess they just expect you to do really bad here, which is interesting. Anyway. So we got 3 iron ore and 1 lava lump. Got another bunny tail, which I still don't know the use of, which I'll have to look at eventually, but for now, I've got no idea. Incroyable.
Incroyable. Still there are such fearsome monsters in the world, even after the defeat of Xiphos. Merci, Blade. Without you, I could not have faced him. You have given to me some confidence again.
Well, isn't that lovely?
Ah, oui. It was over there.
So the whole reason why we're coming here is because she remembers seeing a design on the mountain
I was certain you could see it from
which
here
depicted the
before.
same mask that the Queen was wearing, and we're about to see it because the fog is clearing magically.
This is just how it happened when I was younger. Do you see it? The carving?
No.
Before, I was too young to comprehend the meaning of it. But now I see. It depicts a battle against the Deathbringer. It seems that Xiphos attacked humanity long before our time. And the people who defeated him then, they carved this scene. Look at the mask the Deathbringer is wearing. Is it not familiar? It is just like the mask the Queen is wearing. Is Is it possible that Her Majesty has on the mask of the Deathbringer? And why would she wear it to meet my brother? The very man who defeated him? Could it be, perhaps, that it has some kind of power over her? That she acts against her will?
Attach the bunny tail to the dress of this girl. That would be lovely.
We have to do something. The people of Avalonia know nothing of this. We must return, Blade.
Rightio, Fleurette. Whatever you think is the best idea. We will save our progress. And regardless of how much the next chapter takes to be completed, whether it be not much time at all or a lot of time, the next chapter will be the last thing that we actually do in this live stream. So, yeah. I'd say we've actually done quite a lot within a short space of time so far.
We must hurry. We have to inform the people of the castle about the Queen and the mask. I will see you there later, Blade. A bientôt.
Catch you later. Like how we just watch her run away for quite some time. Just gazing at her. Oh, by the way, there is the Indian man. And his other friend, the Indian man. So look at okay, here is the absolute proof that they are not the same person. Check that out. Check that out. Anyway. So we're actually going to go and level up our sword, if we can, which we should be able to. Once we level it up at a certain point, we get like a branch of 3 different upgrades that we can do for the weapon, but you'll see what I mean. It's the super muscly guy who can't actually speak English. Yeah. And not only does your weapon get stronger, but you get new master strokes and all. Thinking about changing. Anyway. So what you can do is temper my weapon, which in other words is upgrade. So it requires 500 gold and whatever the materials that are needed for it, which is 1 iron ore and 2 monster bones, of which we have a lot of both. So to temper, he gets out 2 wooden mallets, hits the sword 3 times, laughs, and that's all he needed to do. Alrighty. So multi-strike is the new master stroke, and he says that it looks the dogs on us, which doesn't sound very positive, but whatever. So now we can upgrade this in 3 ways. Now the ice weapon is the best. It does the most damage of all 3, and it does the most damage in terms of the master strokes as well. So in terms of attack power, you would go with this one if you wanted the most damage. But we'll see what actually can be made. Temperin materials. We can actually make the thunder weapon, so I think I'm going to make the thunder weapon. The reason why is because I don't usually go with anything except the ice weapon, because the ice weapon does the most damage. So, yeah. I think we can make the fire one too, because we did get a lava lump before. So I have to make a decision on whether I would prefer to make the fire one or the thunder one. Not too sure. Let's make the fire one, because we are going to go to a sea area next. So, would fire or... no, maybe thunder would be better for a water-based location. Nah, what do I do? Maybe fire would be more fun. Would it? Let's just make a fire blade, let's do it. It's more expensive though, isn't it? Whatever, let's just make it, who cares? It has more attack power, so let's just make it. No money, no honey, don't worry, we've got the... oh, we actually don't have enough money for it, shit. We are 5 gold off, so what we will do is we will sell, which is something that we can do. So we don't need to make much more money than what we have right now. So we can probably just go and sell, I don't know, stuff. Probably, I would say that we can sell Wayfarer's clothes for a bit of money. Not much, but just enough. Worth about 55 gold coins, I'd say. That sound fair to you, Gov?
Lovely jubbly. Nice doing business with ya. Want to sell me anything else then?
No. That's how he talks, basically. Okay, so now we can actually make the sword. And yes, wooden hammers for smithing works pretty well. If you're working with steel, use wooden hammers. This is great. There we go. Job's a good one. So we got Searing Strike as our masterstroke. It looks the dog's on us. He's got some blinding new merchandise if we fancy a gander, which we do fancy a gander, so let's have a look and see what he's got. Oh, he's got a fancy new steel broadsword. How lovely is that? So, I'm just interested to see what we need to upgrade to the next level. As you can see, the next level is 20 points stronger. What do we need for it? We need a lot of monster bones, not too many iron ores, and we only need 2 more lava lumps, so that's cool. Anything else you want while you're here? No. Talking to you is very painful, my friend. We're actually going to go to the mini metal shop because I've just remembered to do that. Gov. It's short for governor, and it's just, long story short, it's an English thing. Anyway. Hello, governor. It was a bit of a meme for a period of time. So we just go into this rather nondescript looking cave. And we talk to a weird cat that phases into existence. He's kind of cute but also disturbing. Mini Moggy. Hello Doomlink, it's perfectly delightful to see you. I'm Mini Moggy, the mini metal lion. I did not think it was a lion, but anyway. So, as you can see, we have 5 mini metals right now, which is actually alright. But we can't really use them to get much more than a Yggdrasil leaf and a boulder dasher. The boulder dasher, once again, is the thing that is used for breaking the kind of purplish coloured rocks. And yeah, it's not really helpful at the moment. The poison needle is frickin' terrible, by the way. The liquid metal armor is the strongest armor in the game as well, but it requires 100 mini metals, which we do not have at the moment. So Kitten Claw is not too terrible, but it's not amazing either. Overall, I don't think we're actually going to spend these mini metals. I've changed my mind. Anyway, let us head over to, well, where do we have to go now? I think we might go to our home. Oh yeah, by the way, is that or is that not highly disturbing? I think there's a bulge there too, just to put it into perspective. Press A on the bulge. Anyway. Ugh. So aside from that, I think we need to go to our home to start the next part of this particular quest. I do remember that cat. Oh, Claimer is not here. Well, where might he be? Obviously, we don't want to actually start the quest here. We probably want to go to the castle. Which is fine. Let us go and do that, shall we? Once again, my Wii is just dying. I wonder if that's even audible. It might be. A pink freaking torturer guy with a giant crotch, yeah. It's pretty bad. Anyway. Oh, hello. Oh, apparently we wanted to talk to him. You won't believe this. He's talking now!
Currently being briefed in the throne room by Florette, of all people. What in the world is going on? Do you know?
But what I want to know is why you weren't able to talk before, but now you can.
Colonel Cutlass, we have an emergency. A fearsome beast has been sighted in the waters to the east.
What? Not more unusual activity? I'd wager something sinister is afoot. Very well. Dispatch troops to the area at once. To battle, fellows! To battle!
No need, Colonel. I'll go. Unless you think I mightn't be up to it.
On the contrary, sir. Nothing would fill me with greater confidence.
Then I'd best be on my way. Oh, so this is where you've been hiding.
I haven't been hiding anywhere. You're the one who's been hiding. I was looking for you.
I could do with a hand.
He's laughing because he doesn't have a hand anymore.
I just had a skinful, and I'm feeling none too steady. But you'll prop me up, eh, lad?
So he's basically been for a bit of a drink. That makes both of us, Claymore. So I won't be here to prop you up.
Actually, joking apart,
Ha!
with a quick lie down before we set out. You get our things together, and I'll meet you outside town.
Well, if you have a quick lie down, you're going to pass out, and then you're going to wake up all bleary-eyed. Have a drink before you do that. And like a drink of water, that is. Anyway. Which guy's wearing a dress? I didn't see. Anyway. The way he said to battle. To battle, fellows, to battle. Alrighty. Indian man. And now, when we talk to the guard here,
I heard the news.
Claymore should come running.
I'd better not hold you up with chit-chat then.
Yeah, you'd better not. I'm not here to have a chat with you, mate. Have to have the guy open the gates every damn time.
Be careful. They say it's pretty fierce.
Rightio.
Oh, my head. Maybe running wasn't so clever after all. Still, it's my own fault.
Tis.
Apparently, the beast was spotted around Seacace, Seacove. We'll head over that way first, alright, lad?
All good. I didn't notice that guy wearing a dress, but maybe he was. I wouldn't know. Anyway, this is going to be the last area that we take on in this live stream part. And it should be good fun.
It all smells a bit fishy to me. And it reeks of monsters too. Let's get in there, lad.
Rightio. Let's get in there. Yes, he is named after a sword, large two-handed blade. I actually need a tissue again. Uno momento. Hopefully I'm not coming down with a sickness or anything like that. The beer probably isn't helping, but anyway, I shouldn't be. I will get over it. You could see that as we were drawing our sword there, it looked a little bit different to what we had before, which was a bit of a rusted sword. Alrighty, so you can see that our strike is flaming now, and we're doing a lot more damage than we were before. And yes, what you're describing, Paul, is accurate. It's not only the fact that they're just smashing people with them, it's also the fact that because of the weight of it, you don't actually need it to be a sharp edge. All you need is for it to actually be angular, and then the weight will do the cutting for you. So because it is so heavy, it takes a blunt edge and gives it almost a cutting property. Not truly cutting, but it would really hurt if it hit you, because it's basically taking all the physical power and putting it into a small angle, like a sharp point, but not actually sharpened anyway. Long story short, it would hurt if it hit you. Alrighty. So we'll be able to demonstrate our masterstroke soon. Oh, get away from me, you damn bat. I can tell that you're going to try and run away, so... But yeah, the idea is that the actual damage that you would deal with such a weapon would be... It wouldn't be necessary to sharpen it because the actual angle of the blade itself, that sort of wedge cut, wouldn't actually need to be sharp. The weight does all the work. Anyway. I'm not the one doing the looking around here. This is our character looking around, which is kind of nice. We actually can't look around if we want to, so it's good that he does that. Sword Physics PhD. I explained it pretty horribly, so definitely not. I was going to try and do a horizontal strike and hit that guy as well. Gonna try and get a decent hit combo this time, and see if we can actually manage it. Probably not though, knowing me. I suppose you could call this the more relaxed area to go through, because it's kind of like you're having a nice casual outing on a boat. Yes, you're fighting sea monsters as well, but you know. It's kind of confusing with these guys because it looks like they're not actually close enough for you to hit them. Like, these guys are too far away to hit. But when they do come closer, they still look like they're too far away to hit, but they're actually not. It's kind of weird. Seacace Seacove. Oh, I just lost my hit chain just as I was about to say it. Seacace Seacove is usually the place where I get my highest hit chain. I think I got my first X rank in this game ever in this place. X ranks are really hard to get though. I think you need more than 18,000 points. So yeah, it's rough. So S rank covers a lot in terms of the bracket. So S rank I think covers everything from maybe 12,000 to like 18,000. I don't know if the music is from this game. I would assume that it is, but yeah. It could be from the Dragon Quest series in general. I've got no idea. Just picked up a Thunderball. We need lava lumps though. Don't know if we'll be getting any here. Be a little strange for there to be lava in this location. Yeah. Oh, not your fucking horizontal strikes. That's not what I wanted to do. Anyway. Now, lad, strike! Okay, well, if the confrontation's already over, it's not very helpful for you to tell me to strike anything. Claymore is not very helpful. Yeah, in this game they're just having it so that the shield will block basically everything, so it's not the most realistic game in the world. Like, the whole idea of master strokes is not realistic. You take a sword and somehow you're striking from the heavens and all of this stuff. And my sword has like magical fire properties, so overall it's not a very realistic game, so I wouldn't call it a sword fighting simulator or anything like that. Damn it. Alrighty. So you have lots of confrontations like that, where you have a good opportunity to get all of your hits up, like your hit chain and all of that. Damn it, this guy. I can never decide whether it's the left or the right one. Alright. These guys do give you an opportunity to get a lot of hits up as well, so it can be ideal to actually fight them. But anyway. What are you saying? Are you saying that you were stroking yourself to the prince or what? And yeah, that was a mimic. Damn it. Just lost my fucking hit chain again. There are some enemies at the end that actually can get your hit chain up a lot, because they are hit a lot in combat, and even after you hit them you can get maybe an additional 10 hits off or something ridiculous like that. You'll see them shortly. I was trying to shield that, but it didn't work so well. Shit. But really, if you want to actually experience the Wii, like the Nintendo Wii, this is one of the better games to do it. Really. Woo! Just threw my fucking Wii. I had to do a thrust and then, I don't know, I think my hand's sweaty or something, and so it just slipped right out of my fucking hand. So, yeah, we're about to fight this knight guy. Rather similar to Sir Dirk Worthington. Trespassers will be persecuted. No, that was the stone golem guy. I still have the basic shield. I would like to get a better shield sometime soon. Aim before you strike. Don't worry, mate. Doing all of that. We'll see how much gold we have after all of this, and hopefully at that point we'll be able to get a better shield. To the death. Yeah, rightio. So Claymore just leveled up. And it is worth mentioning that once you get to a certain point in the story, you will be able to choose which of these people you want to take with you on your quest. I'll probably go with Fleurette, because she's Fleurette. But anyway. I mean, who wouldn't want a French girl singing her praises while you're going off on an adventure? Like, really. Shit. Alrighty. What do you mean, Paul? It's like a gun. You have to aim with your gun, you have to aim with your sword too. Well, I think in a way you do have to aim with a sword, because you sort of look... Well, then again, I guess if you look to where you're going to strike, it gives your opponent an idea of where to guard or where to evade physically, so... Maybe it's better not to look where you're going to strike. But it's good to have an idea of where you're going to strike at the very least. So aiming might be a good idea. My Wiimote likes to have a bit of a vibration when it comes to breaking that rock. So this is going to destroy my shield, I think.
Watch how the enemy moves, lad.
Can I hit you yet? No. No, now you're in range. This is what I mean when I say you can get a lot of hits on this guy. I'm trying to do diagonal hits to hit those bats. I'm down to the tiny bit of the shield again. Which is still like many times larger than the God. Yeah, of course I was off target there. Excuse the sneeze. What I was going to say is that it's still many times larger than the orichalcum teaspoon, which is what I mentioned before. Put a piece of monster bone in my bag. Thank you. Oh. So, we just saw one of those silver guys again go past. These guys are so annoying because they run away and they ruin your score. I hate them. Because of course every single enemy that successfully runs away is effectively ruining your end score, so I absolutely hate those guys for that reason. I better go and heal myself because I am in the red now. Let's use some of these herbs. May as well heal. Claymore as well. More Sir Dirk Worthingtons. Oh. You can kind of cover for the fact that you've missed lots of strikes by getting lots of consistent strikes elsewhere. It's basically drowning all of your missed hits in lots of successful hits. Sort of makes the percentage better overall. But I think my guard accuracy is in the toilet once again, so that's a bit annoying. So he's not doing a follow-up. These guys do a follow-up Fire Breathe. Or, yeah, whatever I was going to say there. Or whatever I was wanting to say. Their Fire Breath can go one side and then it can return back the other way. But we haven't seen that yet. Yeah, they have large forks because they're hungry, they're looking for food. Oh, there was this guy, holy shit, we need to kill him. That's going to be a lot of experience, check that out. Look at that. So he was larger than the other slimes, so that was going to be a lot of fucking health. Not health, sorry. A lot of experience, so that ended up being really good. So for some reason, just before we fight the boss here, we fight these random slimes that don't really do anything. But just during this cutscene, I'm going to blow my nose again, so do enjoy. Not me blowing my nose, but the cut.
Aye, that's it. The scaly beast that's been causing all the trouble. Is it just me? Or does it seem a bit human? Ready yourself, lad. It's coming for us.
A fishy monster draws near. So funny. Get it? Fishy because he's a fish? Anyway, so we're going to start off immediately with one of our master strokes, which is going to be the Searing Slash. Looks like I went away and this guy with a crotch came in my place. Oh, I get to do this. Check this out, guys. Yeah! Excellent. Got an opportunity to see very early on. I was expecting that to come much later. But with the Searing Strike, I just have to do a bit of jacking off. No problem, mate. So I can hit these back and deal damage to him. So if we let these hit us, we will get poisoned. Those particular purple ones. There we go. These guys will help us get our hit combo up. Come on, mate. Oh. So pretty much any boss, I'm pretty sure, once you get them up to half health. Oh. I think we can just shield this and this won't really be a problem. It's kind of like a completely pointless attack that we can just shield in full without having to worry too much. Yeah. Yeah. And again. There we go. You can see that we're doing a lot of damage to this guy compared to the previous boss because in terms of the actual damage that we're doing with our sword in relation to the health of the enemy, it's a lot better now than it was previously. So that's a good thing. There you go. And as you can see, timing does make a big difference in terms of the amount of damage that you end up doing. Block or you'll be hit. Yeah, thanks, mate. Real helpful advice. There we go, just leveled up. I should be able to kill him right now. There we go. I will deal the death blow, and we'll be able to get a few more hits in. And we got an ice crystal. That's the stuff, lad. Death metal scream. Alright, 14,800 points. S rank. Which, quite frankly, is better than I was expecting, again, but it could be much better. We're getting pretty consistent scores here with our guard accuracy and hit accuracy. It's pretty much only within a few points of each other every single time. So that's kind of funny. We've got a pot lid. Fair enough.
It's still breathing. Step back, lad. See thee, beast. Shame you had to learn your lesson the hard way, eh? No one gets the better of Claymore and son.
Arrête! Stop! Do not do it!
It's my boyfriend. Don't touch him.
How do these lasses always track me down? Oh, it's you.
I love that.
Please, do not kill him. I beg you. That creature is... He's my brother.
Whoa.
Your brother? Give over, lass. That is a monster.
Oh no, the monster has a French accent too.
Aroval.
Yeah, it is my hentai boyfriend.
This body... It works, I think, since I left.
I mean, obviously.
But Aroval...
Do not approach me! I cannot control my body. Cyphos has...
Relax, man. He does a whole lot of screaming, basically. Okay.
Mon frère!
Mon frère. Well, he dropped his necklace in the process.
What the X happened to Araval? It's Florette, isn't it, lass? Can you shed any light on it?
It was about 1 year ago. My brother was suddenly hit by a high fever.
And he turned into a fish.
Ever since that time,
It can happen to anyone.
he began to be covered in scales. I tried to heal him with my magic, but it was no use. I prayed to the goddess for my brother to be cured. Together,
Didn't work out too well, did it?
to live in the forest where no one would see him.
Scream with a French accent.
I was certain.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to skip that.
Of all the things to happen to the poor lad,
Upon learning that the creature sighted near the coast was notable for its scales, Fleurette became extremely agitated. Yet more so when she discovered that you had already been dispatched to subjugate it. Thank the goddess for our timely arrival. Though these are not joyous times, I realize.
how about what the lad said? Didn't Aravel mention the Deathbringer?
He's here because he accompanied Fleurette.
Aye. The way he looks now isn't so different from the way Xiphos looked when I gave him a braying 5 years ago. Does this mean we didn't destroy Xiphos after all? Will someone tell me what the heck's going on here?
The mask.
Yes, the mask. It is surely the cause of all of this.
Maybe not the cause, but it might be related.
Mother, and we must plead with her to divest herself of it.
We're with you, Anless. Xiphos is behind this. No doubt about it.
Alrighty, so we're going to save, because that is chapter 4 completed. I think we're now level 16, so we've leveled up twice since before we went on that chapter. Oh, just stretching myself. Chapter 5 of the Tower. Excuse me.
Welcome home.
Thank you. That's a reference. Anyway, so Prince Endless and your blah blah. Oh, he's talking for himself. Something has happened, yes.
I knew it. They flew past me at such a lick. I was sure something was up.
So he was concerned before, and then he asked, "Is something up?" And I said yes, and now he's happy. He's like, "Oh, okay, so there is a problem. Cool." It's like, that's not the appropriate reaction.
You better get on up to the castle too, then, hadn't you?
What's with this guy? Is he some kind of psycho? Anyway, like, that's not a normal reaction. Is there a problem? Yes. Oh, okay. Anyway, this guy sells some very overpriced stuff, but it is good stuff. So let's have a look and see what he's selling. Keep in mind, our current gold is 1,859. Actually, to be honest, I mean, it's not that much more expensive. I mean, this is very expensive by comparison, but this is almost affordable. So, anyway. His mind works backwards. So I'm just going to have a look and see if we can... We can't really upgrade anything. We didn't get any lava lumps, I don't believe. Let's have a look and see what our items are. We've still got 1 lava lump. We've got some monster bones we need, I think. 8 monster bones, something like that, to level up our weapon. But our weapon is alright for now. And just so that we don't have to look at any of that stuff again, I'm going to save now. Because as I said before, that was going to be the last thing that we would do for this live stream. It is currently 2 hours and 38 minutes in, which is probably fine. It's a slightly shorter live stream, yes, compared to some of the playthroughs that I do, but whatever. I'm gonna go talk to this woman. Yes, thank you. It's funny, confession and divination, I mean, God. Anyway, so yes. I will confess. My confession is, let me save. That's my confession. Anyway, so, there we go. Thank you. Alright. So that's basically it. Now that we've saved the game, we can pretty much end. Oh, so I basically said I want to quit. Good to know. No, I'm not going to make... It's too late. I've already exited the game. I can't go to the pink guy and make the Dante face. But anyway, I can do that for you. But I can't do it in front of the pink guy. Anyway, I thank you for watching, Paul, and anyone who is watching the past broadcast, or basically watching this recording after it's been live streamed. I will be doing the game again around, well, the day before today, but next week, so in 6 days from now. And yeah, I'm enjoying playing the game again, and after this, I don't know what game I will play, but maybe Twilight Princess, we'll have to see. Regardless, I will, gayest game ever, but it is cool. That is true. Anyway, I'll catch you all later, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.